Hi, today is December 16th, 2001, and we're back for another episode of Cooking with Ann. Today, as you can see, we are going to be making potato lefse. We joined Ann in the kitchen at 111 West 48th Street in Minneapolis, and she is going to discuss with us her preparations before we came this morning. Good morning, Ann.
Good morning to you.
Okay, what can you tell us?
Now, before we started this, I had peeled and cubed 5 pounds of potatoes. Then I cooked them until they were well done, of course, in salt water. Then I riced them.
How do you go about ricing them? What do you use?
You have a ricer. Would you like to see it?
Yes, I would. I
All right.
have never seen a ricer. Oh.
This is a ricer. You put the little cubes in there,
Okay.
and then you press it, and it comes out.
So you've cooked the potatoes,
Yes.
and then you put them in the ricer. Okay.
They're cubed, and you put them in there, and you put them in your thing.
All right.
But you can use nice, well mashed potatoes also. If you don't have a ricer, well mashed potatoes are just fine.
Oh, great.
Okay. So then, after they were all riced, I pack it into a 1 cup measuring thing.
Okay.
Dump them into a big container, and it came out to be 12 cups of packed mashed potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
So then, the recipe, get my glasses. Goodness gracious. In case you can't read this, the recipe calls for 4 packed riced potatoes or mashed, 1/4 cup of margarine, 1/4 cup of whipping cream, a half a tablespoon of salt, and a little bit of sugar, just a little sugar. I put in a little. You cool that overnight. Now I've discovered that one of these containers, a Cool Whip container, the 8-ounce one, holds 4 cups of potatoes, which is wonderful because the recipe that I have is for 4 cups.
Mm-hmm.
So you take this has been cooled all night, you dump it in the bowl, and then you add 1 cup of flour. Okay, the next big step is to wash your hands good, because you're going to get your hands into that. It's a clean towel.
Mm-hmm.
And then you mix that into the potatoes.
Kind of like bread dough.
Kind of like bread dough. Good comparison.
I suppose there's a certain feel you're looking for.
Yeah, so that it holds together and you don't see any little sprinkles of flour
Okay.
around.
Now, this is going to make how many pieces of lefse, do you think?
I'd say this would make about 20 at least.
Uh-huh.
Probably more than that even. Now, I don't make my lefse great big things like that.
All right.
They're smaller. So maybe if people want bigger ones, they have to make their potatoes. Okay. That's pretty good.
Now, is it sticky to the touch or not?
Well, not too much. I'm gonna get a plate here. Now, I'd say would you say that's about the size of a ping pong ball?
A little bit,
Smaller?
a little bit bigger than a
A
ping
little
pong
bit
ball.
bigger than a ping pong ball?
Okay. Is that about a quarter of a cup or so, maybe?
Oh, that's not a quarter of a
Oh,
cup.
okay.
I don't think it's that much.
Okay. Well, we can kind of see.
And
here.
they don't always turn out the exact same size
No.
either. Just,
And they look smooth on the outside. That's
yeah. So they aren't, see, they're very pliable, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not sticking to my hand.
okay. They look like baby Klub.
Yeah, don't they though?
Smells good.
No.
It smells like
You
potatoes.
don't have to do this whole thing. I'm going to continue till I
Okay.
get
Okay.
this all.
We'll join back in a minute.
Okay, we'll put this on.
Oh, I see you're finished.
Okay, now there are about 25 to 28
Balls.
balls ready to be fixed, but you put them in the refrigerator, and as you leave them there until you're ready to bake them.
And what's the purpose? Is it something you should do, or say you're ready to bake it
Well-
right away? Can you, or is it better to leave them in the refrigerator?
It's better to leave it in the refrigerator.
What's about the amount of time?
The amount of time?
Yeah.
Oh, just as you're working, then you go get one and take it out.
Oh,
and
I
roll it.
see.
Then you get that one done, and you go and get another one.
Okay.
That's how you get your leg exercise.
Oh, extra.
Yeah, and get your back moving.
Oh. Okay, so when you're ready, we'll let them sit in there for a little bit, and then we'll come back and roll some.
Yes, but I forgot to say something.
Okay.
When you pack the potatoes in that container,
Right.
put paper towel over it, and then put the cover over it lightly, so that the moisture doesn't go down into the potatoes. It goes into this
Oh, interesting tip.
Because when you put it into the refrigerator, it's warm, and so this absorbs the moisture and keeps it from.
And the lid stays on loose.
Just set it on top loosely.
Okay. All right. We'll check in a little bit.
Yeah, I got to give you all these little hints.
That's right. Say what did you say?
I'm coming to get one of these little balls that we made out of the research now, and I'm going to go like this with it. Get it, go a little bit like this, because that gets the glucose working, so that when you roll your lefse, and if you roll it thin, it's not going to fall all apart
Okay.
when you get it. And then I have some flour right here on the edge of the board, and I'm going to flour the part where the rolling's going to be. So I get a little flour on it. You don't want too much. Set it down. Oopsie. And as you roll, you notice I roll from the center to the outside. And I'm just going to pick it up, put a little more flour there, otherwise it could be sticking to the board. Do some more of this. From the center out, and kind of quick little. You can't be too heavy on the rolling, or you're going to put holes in the. What do you call it? You don't call it batter.
In the dough.
In the dough, yeah, in the dough. Well, that looks pretty thin now. Oh, see? You saw that? I punched a hole in it. I did that. I punched a hole in it.
Well, I think someone will still eat it. That happens.
Yeah, sometimes you can mend that enough so that it's not going to make that much difference.
Can you tell us a little bit about the equipment you've got here?
Oh,
Like the rolling pin, I noticed there's something on it. What's that?
that's what you call a stocking.
Okay.
It's just like a knit stocking. You can buy those at a place where they have Norwegian. And the rolling pin has grooves in it.
Okay.
And what the purpose is, I don't know, but this got flour in it, but that's okay.
All right. And then the stick.
The sticks, they're called Lefse turners, and you get those also at Norwegian places.
Okay.
Okay, now I think this is about ready to turn.
Is there any special way of knowing? You just peek and...
Well, you get these bubbly things, and then you kind of peek a little bit to see what the color is. And you like it to be kind of a lighter, between light and dark, tan.
Okay.
That looked good to me. How does that look to you?
Great.
Yeah, that's about the color you want it to be.
And you hardly see that little hole.
Yeah, right. And you won't notice it when you're eating it.
Okay.
So, I'll go get another. I kind of lingered here a little bit, but as soon as I put one on the grill, I go right away and get the next one and start it. And then after I've done a little bit of rolling, then it's time to check and see if it's done.
I suppose it's nice if you can have two people, one rolling and one watching the grill. Probably makes it a little easier.
Yeah, but you can do it all alone. It's you catch on just
A little routine.
right. You got the routine going.
Now I know when I've done this before, sometimes that, for some reason, the dough will stick to the board
Yes.
and it gets all gunked up. Then what do you do?
Then you, where it's stuck, you have to be sure you get any of that dough off the board. So you take a knife and scrape it off, and then you put a little flour on top
Okay.
of where it was.
So it's probably because the flour wasn't there.
Right.
Okay.
And maybe the Lefse got a little bit too thin or something, but that happens.
I think it can happen on that rolling pin too, can it? The
Yes.
dough can get stuck
Yeah,
on
and
there.
if it gets on here, you take it and you scrape off where the dough stuck to it.
Uh-huh.
So you don't, be sure you don't want to have anything on either the board or the rolling pin.
Okay.
And that's. And when you go under the thing, don't go like that. Press it down onto the board so that you aren't going to cut into the lefse. You're going to go to, the point of it is going to go into the
And then you just
board.
unroll it onto the grill.
Yes, and then you roll it on the grill. Did you see how I did
Yes. Now what temperature do you have the grill?
that? 500.
500, okay.
Yep.
So it doesn't take too long once you get moving here.
No. Well, when I did my last batch for Thanksgiving, I did the 12 thing. It took 8.5 hours.
Wow, and how many did you make?
Well, that must have been 80, I think.
Wow, so it's about 10 an hour. Yeah, that probably makes... No, you said, how many did you make? 80?
80.
In about 8 hours, so yeah, about 10 an hour.
Oh, I do more than 10 an hour.
You probably
I'm sure.
maybe took a little break, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. I did one batch, and then I decided that wasn't going to be enough, so I made some
Oh,
more. So
okay.
that included everything.
Remaking it
Yeah,
again.
just for the fun of it, I kept track of the time, and whatever, I made over 100
Wow.
took 8.5 hours.
Now, I should have you talk too, when you put this over, what are you putting it in when you're done now? You have a special way
yes.
that you store them here.
Now I have a Turkish towel underneath here that's folded, and then I have an old tablecloth
Uh-huh.
that's folded, and in between the folds there's plastic. It goes around and it comes down underneath there.
And what's the purpose of that?
That's to keep the moisture.
Oh. Now, you told us about putting the lefse in between the plastic. First there's the tape, the towel, then the tablecloth with the plastic between it, and it sits in there. For how long does it sit?
I leave it till evening time.
Oh,
whatever
okay.
it is. I leave it till evening, and then you can see this.
Okay.
What I do, I take it out, and I take the lefse, and I fold it in a different pattern than it was before. I don't fold it going across the same
Okay.
way. I fold it different, and I fold it like that, and then I make a stack of those and put them into a
Baggie?
baggie.
Okay.
Yes, and put them.
They're
in the
cooled
fridge.
by that time, of course.
They're cooled by that time, and put them in the fridge.
All right. Well, this has been a joy to see this, and glad you could share this. Any closing comments?
Well, I hope everything turns out good when you try it, and if it doesn't, try again.
All right. Well,
You learn by doing. When I started out, the lefse was about that thick, but you can get it thin if you like it thin. If you like it, by the way, if you like it thicker, just don't roll it out so thin, because mine gets to be about paper thin when I'm rolling.
all right. This sounds great. Well, we'll just wait to hear from you again. I guess next time we're going to do Swedish meatballs. Is that right?
Oh, I don't think so. Anybody can do that. That's no, you just...
I think you can do it if you've done it, but
No.
we'll just see. And but we've enjoyed Lefse today. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Merry Christmas.
Thanks.